Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. This is the last question I'll take, and I'm really going to be in trouble.
It's clear, to me at the least, that US President Joe Biden is struggling with dementia and is clearly not up to the task he's been sworn in to do.
So I want to thank you all. I really mean it from the bottom. I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
I'm no doctor. I just know he went from like a year ago being able to talk to not being able to talk. I said, looks like a stroke, looks like dementia. We've all had family that gets like that. But as a medical doctor, what are you seeing with Biden?
You're all being very polite. You're with me all day, and it's dinner time. Good afternoon, or almost. Actually, it's evening. Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And Mayor Turner. Secretary, excuse me, I wasn't, the press going to say I'm downgrading him by calling him Senator Booker. Senator, I mean, but I mean, it's not about, I know. The only way to spare more pain and more loss, the only way. These millstones no longer mark our national mourning. These milestones, I should say, no longer mark our national mourning. My long friend, time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't even need you to get me elected. I need you once I'm elected.
Why attack Sanders?
Why? You're getting nervous, man.
And then if I could just...
Come on, Press. We're going to move out. Let's go, Press. You guys, let's go. Come on, Press. Let's go. Come on, let's go. This is the order, sir.
How would you keep pushing someone who can't string a sentence together instead of just worrying about Biden, which I know you're not? What does it say about the Democrats? They keep trying to push this guy.
We choose truth over facts. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, he's going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world. And I just want to say one thing to Bird of the Navajo Nation. Let my wife come home. She likes the Navajo Nation too much. She keeps being out there. She's been out there for 2 days. She was out there before. I don't know. You know what I mean? I called her. I said, where are you? She said, I'm staying another day. So, let her come home, okay? I don't want her, that's too far for me to commute. I shouldn't be so. But anyway, look, this is about what we can do together.
Over the years, over your career, you've already spent a great deal of time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Except now you're living there and you're president. It's been 4 weeks. What's it like? How's it different?
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we? So the best way to get something done, if you hold near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done.
But the big flood is the diarrhea of the mouth coming out of the reanimated corpse, the perfect rotting edifice of the corrupt Democratic Party, Joe Biden. But this is the guy they have planning to run against Trump in 2 years. I mean, look, Joe Biden looks like a dead body that Frankenstein electrocuted and that stood back up on its hind legs.
Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay? Now, when President Harris and I took a virtual tour of a vaccination center in Arizona, I took it to instill public confidence in the vaccine. President-elect Harris took hers today for the same reason. Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort. Also today, I said when we became a team and got elected that the Vice President's going to be the last person in the room. She didn't realize that means she gets every assignment. If I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Joe Biden, whatever his merits as a human being, has no active role in running the U.S. government. Everyone knows that. Everyone pretends otherwise. But it's true.
Get down to business here, and Ron, who am I turning this over to?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. I think it's time for the press, our friends of the press to leave now. Thank you.
He just was reading off his notes and he still got confused and has to ask his aides about what to do, who speaks next. And of course, they said, let's wrap this up. No questions from the journalists.
Joe Biden said he didn't know, the Lincoln Project knew, the guys who covered up child molestation, but Joe Biden says he didn't know that this raid was coming. Do you take that at face value?
Maybe he doesn't remember. I'm not sure if he can retain anything for more than about, the time it takes to read it.
Just want to thank you both, and I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there. I want to make sure we thank the secretary for all he's done to try to implement what we just talked about, and for recommending these two women for promotion. Thank you all. May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Oh, Ms. Kim.
Can anybody that's got an active mind and is not politically biased take Joe Biden seriously? I've turned off watching the bloke. I mean, he's barely able to get through a speech.
And perhaps, most cruelly of all, if Donald Trump has his way, the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
I think the Masters golf tournament should be moved out of Georgia.
I think that's up to the Masters. Look, it is reassuring to see that for-profit operations and businesses are speaking up about how these new Jim Crow laws are just antithetical to who we are.
Wasn't that the President of the United States talking? No, that's what you thought. In fact, it was Jesus in aviator glasses. Joe Biden spoke to the soul of America. He connected with people who don't even deserve to be connected with, redeemed by his voice alone. A voice that is not, and we want to be clear about this, the fading monotone of a 78-year-old man who is losing his grip. No, it's not. Joe Biden's voice modulates. It is the capacity to change pitch in a way that is, and we're quoting now, rather extraordinary.
Looking for my mask. I'm in trouble.
We can keep going with this if we wanted. Cable news is a rich vein. But we will stop and return to reality.
So we've got to make sure there's access for them.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better.
How have Americans been responding to the president's address?
Hey there, Elaine. You all were talking about the president's polling in the last segment, so that was a very nice segue here because we have some new polling. What we did was we talked to a sample, representative sample of the audience nationwide who watched the speech, and they liked what they heard. We got 85% approving of the speech. Now, I've got to add right off the bat here that, as is typical with presidential speeches, a lot of his own partisans made up the bulk of the audience. So this audience was majority Democrats watching it. And, you know, for context, back when President Trump was giving speeches, a lot of Republicans watched those. So that's, you got to know that behind these numbers. But that said, the audience said that they liked what they heard. And then how did they describe it? Well, this is a word we found in other polling, and again in this one, people using to describe Joe Biden: presidential, caring. In this case, many thought the speech was inspiring. And then this one, folks have been talking about where his plans, you know, big, were the things that people wanted, and this word bold was used by 80% of the audience too. So to that extent, he kind of hit his mark. If he wanted to convey bold, it seems like he did, Elaine.
Interesting. Well, what did people make, Anthony, of the tone of President Biden's speech? Did they feel he was unifying in his remarks?
Yes, that also came up. We also did see unifying. And of course, that's been one of his campaign promises, right? To be unifying to the country, to reach out, to be bipartisan. And we've seen in the national polling that led up to this, people did think that he was reaching out to Republicans.